one professor, a Congolese professor who's based in Ohio, Cincinnati. We had the federal president of Apareco, which is an organization in the Congolese diaspora, and also a doctor from Canada who just created a political party in the Congo. He was in the Congo there's about a week ago, and he came back and he shared with the audience what he was able to do on the ground and what needed to be done in order to solve the problems in the Congo. And we spent pretty much 2 hours listening to the speakers, because there was 3 of them, but there was about 50 people, from all these different regions of the world, just sharing about the Congo. So we listened to the speakers for about 2 hours, as I said earlier. They all proposed their solutions, their approach of the solutions to the Congolese problem. There was those who advocated for a military solution, and those who were more for a political and peaceful remedy to the situation. It was wonderful to see such a thing, instead of, because most of the time people at home or other nationality ask to see what the Congolese are doing to take matters in their own hand and to bring an end to the conflict in the Congo and the war. But we have seen a manifestation of that will, of the Congolese will, to come together, even though they share different positions or different approach, but they were there and sending a message of unity through diversity. That they are there, they're working, they're trying to find means and ways to solve the problem in the Congo.
And where was this conference?
It was the person who initiated the conference lives in New York. His name is Blaise Kabamba. He called me a couple of weeks ago telling me that he had this great idea to bring Congolese from different horizons together and discuss about the Congo. And a few weeks later, it became a reality. We had a really good turnout, and
so it was on the phone or
It
Skype?
was on the phone.
On the phone.
It was on the phone.
That's amazing.
It was on the phone. That's what technology can do. Instead of having people traveling from Europe, from all these parts of the world, we were able to come together and as one, as if we were in one location, but to discuss all these issues.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes. So what else is new?
Oh. That's not really news for the Congolese, but George Bush was in our metroplex. Yes, he came to University of North Texas. He was welcomed by a crowd of more than 8,000 students there. He spoke for about 30 minutes. Spoke about his presidency, the hard choices and decision he had to make during the 8 years of his rule, and he promoted this book as well. He promoted this book. He asked people to go and purchase a book to learn more about what went inside the Oval Office and what's led him to take the decision he took. He talked about faith. He talked about hope, and he talked about hard decisions. Yeah. That's basically how I can summarize his message.
I also saw him on the Oprah show, and I think one of the, regardless of your position and your political views here in the United States, you kind of just have to respect the man as far as the decision that he made, whether it was good choices or bad choices.
Absolutely.
And learn from it and try to make this new generation and empower our new president into becoming probably one of the best. I don't know. Yeah.
This is something I just want to draw that parallelism between what we see in our country back home in Congo and what we see here. I mean, here the presidency is in the office that we respect. It's not so much about how much you like the man or you hate the man. This is not the point. The point is you need to respect his presidency. You need to respect the services that he rendered to his country. I think this is something that we should consider more when we we approach our way of doing politics in the country.
Absolutely.
We tend to forget that man that we want to hate. It's not so much the man, the individual that we don't personally know, but it's the office, and this office also has to be respected.
Yes.
If he was able to get to that office, it doesn't really matter. Does it really matter how he got there? Yes, somewhere it does. But insult him personally, I think that's just, kind of like diminish the level of the debates. Instead of getting to the point and discussing the policies and ways of solving the problems, we're insulting this man from his mothers, his fathers, and calling him names. I don't think that's politics. That's just a criticism, or maybe an advice that I'll send to all of our politicians out there. Let's elevate our debates. Let's talk about issues.
Absolutely. Another thing that I learned from that debate, that prestation, is that everybody was united pretty much behind the president, despite of people may argue that some of these policies were not correct or not beneficial to the country, but everybody pretty much came behind him, not behind George W. Bush, but behind this person who served in that specific office. There was only maybe 15 people that were escorted out the room. Yes, there were. There was protesters. Everybody has the right to. That's what's beautiful with America. Everybody has his own opinion, and the Constitution gives them the right to voice out those opinions. And we had 15 student protesters in the audience. We don't know how they made it through security to hand up in the VIP section, but there was 15 students chanting and protesting because George Bush did not come for free. The university had to pay $100,000 to have him there. So during the time where there's hiring freeze, there is cuts, there's budget cuts at UNT, a lot of students argued that it was not necessary to disperse that much money for one speaker. But as far as I am concerned, I was happy to be there and to see the president, the former president. Even though I personally have my own. No. If I personally, I saw him. I would say, but I didn't meet him. There's a big difference. Despite the fact that personally, I have some issues about. I wouldn't say issues.
Just personal opinions.
About his presidency, but it was a pleasure. I learned a lot from him as a man, as a political figure. In 30 minutes, I was able to grasp that personality.
Yeah, and just on the side note, this message just goes to our president, Joseph Kabila. I really would like to encourage him also to write a book. It is important for our African president to leave something behind once they leave or while they're there, so people can have a better outlook on what they're doing and what's going on. Because with the book, from what I haven't read the book, but from what I'm understanding, it really gives his own perspective of how he saw things in his eyes, not in the eyes of the public, not in the eyes of the media, but in his own eyes. So it's really good. I'm encouraging all our African leaders to look at that as an advantage as well, to put things in writing. It is important. Absolutely.
Because we have had pretty much 40 years of political silence in our country. We have had leaders, we had eras, we had conflict, we had an history that stretched out from the independence to now that is not really recorded. There is many many actors of our politics that are dying now and not leaving any legacy behind, any written document that actually shows what went on from the inside. Most of the time we have we made our opinion based on what journalists in the West write about what our